You think you know the 2026 World Cup. You know the teams, you know the players, and you've seen the schedule. But I promise you, there's a whole other layer to this tournament that the mainstream coverage is not talking about. I'm talking about dark secrets, wild rules, and stuff going on behind the scenes that will completely change how you watch these games. And today, we'll be going 5 layers deep. These are the 5 secrets about the World Cup that nobody tells you. Secret number 1. The stadiums you're watching the games in, they don't actually exist. Well, they do, but not by the names you know them as. The SoFi Stadium, home of the Rams and Chargers, is now Los Angeles Stadium. The Cowboys AT&T Stadium, that's the Dallas Stadium. And the MetLife Stadium, you know the one hosting the final, is officially called the New York New Jersey Stadium, which at the least is definitely a mouthful to say. Now you may be wondering why this is. Well, stadiums undergo significant brand scrubbing ahead of FIFA's tournament. Everything from the signs inside the venue to logos on the roof, even the beer sold at concessions gets covered up if it's not a FIFA partner brand. And in Atlanta alone, over 2,000 branding images had to be concealed. Well, there was actually one exception to this, the Mercedes Benz logo on top of the Atlanta stadium. FIFA decided it was too much of a hassle and too complicated to cover up, so they just made an exception. This resulted in billions of dollars of NFL branding across all of these stadiums to be gone just because FIFA said so. Now on to secret number 2, and this one actually made me angry. Nearly a quarter of these matches at the World Cup could be played in potentially dangerous heat. Cities like Miami, Kansas City, and Philadelphia are amongst the most exposed to high temperature and humidity during June and July. So what did FIFA do? They banned water bottles. No, really. With 1 week to go before the tournament opener, FIFA performed a last-minute U-turn on its own stadium policy. Now, supporters are no longer allowed to bring water bottles into venues. This directly contradicted FIFA's own rulebook from just 3 weeks earlier, which explicitly said that fans could bring in empty reusable water bottles. I'll give them credit though. FIFA did introduce a mandatory 3-minute hydration break midway through each half for players, but that still begs the question, why is FIFA caring about the safety of the players and not the safety of their own fans? Now onto secret number 3, and this one has actual legal consequences. You've probably heard about how the tickets for the World Cup were expensive, but you might not know how bad it got, or that the US government got involved. Well, in 2018, when bidding to host the tournament, the US, Canada, and Mexico listed the maximum price for the final as $1,550. By the end of December 2025, during the initial closed sale to fan club members, the prize rose to more than $8,000 per ticket. $8,000. Consequently, in May 2026, the Attorneys General of New York, New Jersey, and California subpoenaed FIFA as part of an investigation into ticketing practices. The concerns presented included allegations that fans were misled about seat locations, that ticket categories were changed after purchase, and that artificial scarcity was used to push prices higher. Following this, authorities in Texas also opened their own investigation in June later that year. And now, as we speak, FIFA is literally being investigated by multiple state governments right now while the tournament is happening. But this isn't nearly as bad as secret number 4, which is one of the most fascinating things about the whole tournament, which nobody is talking about. We're watching these games on beautiful, lush green grass pitches, right? Well, wrong. What you don't know is that this grass wasn't really here 6 months ago. These fields are NFL stadiums, and FIFA requires all World Cup matches to be played on natural grass, so they had to completely rebuild the playing surfaces from scratch in these stadiums. At Boston's Gillette Stadium, organizers tore out the artificial turf and then removed 10 inches of gravel underneath, uncovering still intact irrigation and heating systems from the early 2000s. And in Los Angeles, the ryegrass and Kentucky bluegrass combo sits atop the artificial turf with multiple layers of water management 2 feet higher than the NFL field underneath. The system includes permeable cloth, grass, and sand, which allows air to flow through and control the moisture on the pitch, which was brought in from Washington State. So when you see those gorgeous pitches on your TV, that's an elaborate, multi-million-dollar temporary illusion built on top of an American football field. Pretty wild. And secret number 5, which is the biggest of them all, and it's hiding in plain sight. We all talk about Messi versus Ronaldo, the GOAT debate, but this World Cup has a specific record on the line that could close the argument forever or blow it wide open. Germany's Klose and Argentina's Messi are currently tied as the all-time top scorers in the World Cup history with 16 goals each. But what's important is that Messi is literally at the tournament right now and he could break that record alone on the biggest stage in the world. and every time he steps on the pitch, history is within reach. And then there's Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo is appearing in his record 6th World Cup tournament in 2026, and at 41 years old, he's the second oldest player at the tournament. But what's most shocking is that if Portugal go on a long run through the tournament, there's a legit argument, as ESPN points out, that he could win the Ballon d'Or at 41 years old just by winning this tournament. Two of the greatest players ever, both chasing immortality, both in the same tournament. That's not just the World Cup, that's history. So there you go. Fake stadium names, banned water bottles and a heat wave, government investigations, grass that really isn't grass, and the greatest records in football history all on the line at the same time. This isn't just the biggest World Cup ever, it might be the strangest one too. Drop a comment, which of these secrets blew your mind the most? And if you're watching along this summer, subscribe, because we are doing a deep dive coverage all the way to the final on July 19th. See you in the next one.